Hello everyone, my name is Ihaya Jogo, your number one relationship coach, and today we are going to be looking at something that I think will be very, very valuable for single guys, and it is titled The Single Guy's Guide. Now, young men all over the world are increasingly struggling to find the identity of who they are and why they are here, and with all the drama going on with relationships and all of that type of stuff, one is constantly asking, what exactly do I need to win as a young man? And that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. We're going to be looking at 10 single guys guide. All right, we're going to do this from number 1 to 10, and I am sure it will be of great value to you. Number 1, be confident in yourself. What is confidence? Confidence is being aware of who you are, whose you are, where you're from, and where you're going to. Be confident in yourself. Now, because of so much going on in the psychoanalysis space, everybody's being triggered by something now. Everybody's trying to be socially or politically correct, and they don't want to offend or cross anyone. Suddenly, everybody lives on eggshells, not only walking on eggshells. But this is what, as a single man, you need to understand, that you must first learn to be confident in who you are. You are a guy. And that is not a bad thing. It is something to be proud of. There's nothing you did to be a guy. You were born that way, and it is something that you must cherish. You must learn to be comfortable in your own skin. This is something that a lot of people are not allowing people do these days, to be confident in their own skin. So the first thing you need to understand is you are exactly who you should be. You know, I usually jokingly tell people this: if you're taller than me, you're too tall. If you're shorter than me, you're too short. If you're fatter than me, you're too fat. If you're thinner than me, you're too thin. It sounds like a joke and we all laugh over it, but what it does for me, it is a confidence booster. It helps me realize that I'm the best version of myself. So whatever you don't like about yourself, you have the right to do something about it. So if you're out of shape, get into shape. If you're obese, lose weight. If you're unsmart, do something about it. The first single guy's guide is be confident in yourself. The second single guy's guide is be aware of your shortcomings. It is foolishness to know that you have certain issues with you and have done absolutely nothing about it. I get to talk to a lot of couples, and I always hear them say things like, why is he telling me sorry if he's going to do it again? So there are two different orientations. Number 1, you are doing stupid things and you do not know, and you just irritate everybody around you. Or you are doing stupid things and you know, and you're still doing nothing about it. And at that point, people begin to define you as being wicked. What I'm saying is, be aware of your shortcomings and then do something about them. What is the thing that rubs off on people in a kind of negative way? What is that thing you do that is just off? It could be your dress sense, it could be your taste, it could be poorly timed jokes, it could be sarcasm that just rubs off on everybody in the wrong way. There's something, just be aware of yourself. Remember, the first one we talked about was confidence. Number 2, be aware of your shortcomings and do something about it. The third single guy's guide is be honest and truthful. Now, one of the synonymous things with guys, especially young working class guys these days, is everybody thinks they need to cap to get ahead. Everybody feels they need to spin something. There's always a spin. Oh, why are you using an iPhone 11? Oh, I use my money to put in Bitcoin. You didn't have to say that. You're capping, and it will come back to bite you. Be as honest and be as truthful to yourself as possible. Be your best authentic self. You know why? A cap is hard to maintain. And this is why a lot of guys get into trouble. This is why ladies say things like, oh, he has changed. They were capping so much, and when they got tired of the act, their real person showed through the cracks, and she couldn't deal with it, and it became an occasion to be frustrated. So I think that from the get-go, be very clear on who you are. Be honest and be truthful. Just be yourself. Just be an honest person. Number 4 single guy's guide is be a gentleman. Now, I know that chivalry, I heard people argue that chivalry is gone, chivalry is out of the way. Some guys argue and say things like, oh, it's the women that has caused chivalry to go. When you open a door for a a lady. You hear young men say things like, the lady will say, I'm not handicapped. Are you trying to be chauvinist? Are you trying to be match? I've forgotten that word that they use. A guy tries to open a door of a car for a lady, and the lady says, I didn't ask you, Gym these days, a guy wants to help a lady spot. She assaults them, or she reports him or sues him for inappropriate behavior, and men have now let it be. I saw a video of guys sitting comfortably in a train, and there was a very heavily pregnant woman, and there was another young lady that was there. And the young lady said, are there no gentlemen in this train? And all of them turned and said, are you pregnant? And she said no. And they told her, get the heck out of our faces. And everybody laughed, because this is what equality looks like. But please, I want to talk to guys. Please remember to be a gentleman. If you were not trained a monster, don't let somebody else turn you to who you are not. Chivalry is not dead. Let your life be the last archaeological thread of chivalry left in the 21st century. All right. So it's a powerful single guy's guide. Learn to be a gentleman. Okay. Dress the part. Get up for a lady. Help with the door. When they now act like they don't want it, it's fine. But do not let their grouchiness change who you are. Be a gentleman. You're preparing yourself not necessarily for that lady, but for the lady that God's preparing you to be for. The fifth single guy's guide principle I think every guy should know is to work hard. There is no such thing as a free lunch. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Christianity is absolutely free, but it cost Jesus his life. So really, there is nothing that is free. Learn to work hard. Get yourself into that frame of mind. When I hear a lot of young people now, while there's nothing wrong in wanting to work from proxy and wanting to just work from wherever you want to work, I notice that except it's IT, it is completely pointless to want to work from proxy, because you will not learn any life skills other than learning to sit in front of a camera, write reports and send reports. Where the money is in products, goods, and services. So if you are not part of the infrastructure that runs the internet space, go and get a physical job where you get a life experience on how to engage in life. This is why a lot of people do not know how to talk anymore. Everybody chats, everybody's aggressive on social media. But once you get them, stand in front of them and get them to talk, they are not talking. You see guys that are razzling babes on chat, but when they meet, it's always awkward because what he was typing is different from the personality he is. You must learn to work hard. You must learn to put in the work when it's time to work. A lot of people want to eat when it's time to work. A lot of people want to flex when it's time to work. A lot of people want to spend when it's time to earn. Young men, learn to work hard. It's a single guy's guide. The sixth single guy's guide we're looking at today is have both speed and direction. So it's one thing to know where to go. Then it's another thing to get there quickly. No matter how fast you are running, if you are facing the wrong direction, you are not making any progress. So it's important to first find a clear-cut direction for your life. What do you want to be seen as? What do you want to be known for? How do you want people to see you? So one of the things I used to always want people to know me for is to have been happy, to be playful, to know how to diffuse every tense situation. Now, whilst those things look like very generic things, they are very specific skill sets that not everybody has. And I noticed this and I began to use it as my own asset, and it has helped me make a lot of headway in life. The second part is speed. Once you find what you want to do, stop telling stories and start chasing hard after it. Oh, I want to be a banker, So what's your point in being a banker? You want to get to the very top. So once you get into a job and you start as a clerk, always remember that your end game is to be at the top of that thing and begin to chase it very clearly. Whatever it is, you must first be clear about your direction and your speed. With these two things, you see, a lady is more interested in a guy that is going somewhere than a guy that has built an empire nowhere, because that's it. What you have seen is what it is. But there's this other guy, you saw him last year. The guy he is this year is blowing your mind. You can't wait to see the guy he's going to be next year, because he has direction and speed. Young men, it is really, really imperative that you get this principle really clear, that you must have both direction and speed, and it is a single guide. Number 7, get a healthy social circle. So whilst everybody has a social circle, not everybody has a healthy social circle. If every time you hang out with those guys, you wake up the next morning with a hangover, you're broke, you're in debt because you had to take some money to continue keeping the flex, or you're in some trouble with your spouse or with your relatives or with your guardians, that is not a healthy social circle. You must have friends that can help you work, help you plan, help you execute, and help you look to the future. If they are not able to do any of this, they are a good social circle, but they are not a healthy social circle. You must be able to inspire yourselves. By the time the first person has bought a car, let every other person have those conversations. By the time the first person has gotten his first house, by the time the first person is married, the conversation around the rest should be, when is it your turn to do the same thing? You must have a healthy social circle, because a healthy social circle will keep you both spiritually grounded and ambitiously positive, meaning that all of you are setting goals and you are chasing after your goal. You need a healthy social circle. If you are the standard in your current social circle, you need a new social circle. You have outlived, you have outcoasted, and you have outflexed that circle. What you're going to have is going to be psychophants. And the only thing that will happen is all of you will plateau, and all of you will build monuments around the plateaued life, and nothing is going to come out of it. You see, I can tell you for free. One of the things I've learned to do is, if I see people that have potentials that I want or things I like, I walk up to them and say, hey guy, I need to know you. How are you? Who are you? Blah, blah, blah. We talk. And few months, few weeks, few years later, we are in the same space because I see something you like and I see something I want that you're already mastering. That is what it means to have a healthy social circle. If you call the subject of prayer, for instance, and everybody in your social circle laughs and scorns you, you have no business being in that social circle. Number 8, be big on family. One of the fastest way to become destitute and become a wanderer and become a wild beast in the wastelands of life is to forget where you come from. So I want to tell you now, from the first day, or you meet a lady or you meet someone you like or someone, be big on family. Be clear about the fact that you've got siblings. Be clear about the fact that you've got relatives. You've got people that look out for you. You've got people who care about you. You've got people who want to see you win in life, and talk about it. For guys, listen to this. If you talk with her 10, 20, 30 times, 6 months, 8 months, and she never references her family, never references her siblings, never references her guardians, it is a big red flag. Oh, but people will say, but what if she doesn't have any? How did you meet her? Who was she with when you met her? Where did she come from? An alien is, especially in the African context, an alien is almost impossible in our context. An uncle brought you up if your parents are dead. An elder sister, or an elder brother, or a cousin brought you up. There has to be concept of family, or else you will abuse or you will sabotage the family you will build. The one that does not know where he comes from will never be able to lead a woman and children to where they are going, because he has no identity. Therefore, he will not have a destiny. Be big on family. It is a single guy's guide that will help you. Number 9, be clear on your life goals. Who are you? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be remembered for? Someone that is 25 right now will say, oh, but I still have a lot of life in me. Let's add 40 years to your years. Right now, you'll be 65. You would probably be in the last decade or last few decades of your life by then. It means the best time to begin to build a resume is now. Think about CR7, right? He's 39, going to be 40 or so. But it's almost as if CR7, we've known CR7 for our whole lives. Meanwhile, I started playing ball maybe at 17, 18. So what he's done is in 22 years, and he's still 40. And when you think about the fact, so that's even on a secular plane. But when you think about the fact that he's not even 45 yet, so we can only begin to imagine what his life will look like when he turns 50. It's probably going to be just legacy on the back of legacies. I mean, I hear Messi has a museum to his name. His goals, the clubs he's been at, there's a museum people pay money to go see, and he's not 50 yet. Be clear on your life goals, because whether you know it or not, as you exist, as you're watching this video, you are creating your life. A lot of companies these days don't really look at your CV. Once they get your CV, they just Google your name, and whatever shows, if little or nothing shows, they say this one is a nobody going nowhere. If we put him in this organization, he will drag us into his nothingness. So be very clear on who you are and who you want to be. You must have life goals. You must have life goals. And Single Guys Guide number 10, make God a top priority. Without God, everything in life looks like a blip in time. God is the meaning of our existence. God is the creator, the executor, and the enforcer of our very existence. So as a young man, be clear about God. If you're a person of faith, make sure you're around a Bible-believing church. You are serving in that place. You are in a place where you can be guided, you can be corrected, you can be rebuked, you can be admonished, and you can be instructed to take better life decisions. You see, all of these 10 Single Guys Guide will help you. When you think about it, when you aggregate all of them, you will find out that with some or all of this, you will be able to make strong advances in life. All right, feel free to click on that like button, share button, hit that notification. If you like content like this, feel free to share it and subscribe to our channel. My name is Jogo. Follow me on all my social media handles. They're all out there. I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye.